go.
All right, high school boys basketball live tonight. It's Woodside versus Menchville. Greg Bicaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. We're live here at Menchville High School in Newport News for our showcase event. It's a battle between two excellent teams.
I'm telling you what, Greg, I am so excited for this game tonight. We've got a great rivalry that we're going to see on the hardwood tonight.
What are the keys, first of all, for Menchville?
I think the keys for Menchville is they have to calm down. They have to stay focused, stay on track, work their plan and plan their works. And for Woodside, they got to come out and push the tempo. They're on enemy territory, so to speak, so they got to come out here and take the crowd out of the game.
It's a 32-minute game. You got to really stay focused as we get ready for the festivities here on the court. Always fun when these two teams get together. Menchville won the earlier game earlier this season between the two, but of course, not easy winning on the road.
Absolutely not. So Woodside's going to be looking for a little payback here tonight, Greg. Looking up at Menchville in the standings, they're not going to be able to catch Menchville, but a win tonight would do a very good job of getting Woodside in the right frame of mind for the postseason.
Absolutely. And, of course, that's the whole thing about postseason, winning at home, away, and a neutral court as the fans getting ready for senior night.
And I'm telling you, senior night, a big deal. We saw it earlier in the girls' game. Now we're seeing it with the guys. A lot of school spirit here. You can just feel it. The intensity, the electricity is palpable in the air, folks. We got a great game for you tonight. A pleasure to be able to bring this matchup to you.
And we look forward to it for Woodside. Coleman, Jemison, Ely, Nunez, and Scott. We saw Woodside play Denby earlier this year. For Menchville, Struthers, Hawkins, Maxey, Gilliam, and Goldson. So experienced players on both ends.
Right, and then this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Menchville coming into tonight's game with a record of 16-5. The Woodside Wolverines coming in with a record of 13-9, but you can throw those records out of the window tonight. This is going to be a big-time matchup, folks. We're bringing the lights. We're bringing the cameras. The kids are bringing the action on the court tonight. I cannot wait to see Coach Struthers and Coach Welch go mano a mano.
You have a former NBA player and a former Division I player here from the Southeastern Conference. All right, let's welcome our good friends at Fazoli's, Nate Milton.
Absolutely, folks. Nothing goes with basketball like pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fazoli's, they fed our crew. Let them feed yours. Check them out at the Jefferson Avenue location, 757-596-4324, or go to Fazoli's.com. Want to give a tip of the cap to Michelle and the good people over at Fazoli's.
Yep, Newport News and Chesapeake locations. Excellent hardwood basketball ready for 32 minutes of action here between these two great rivals. Woodside, Menchville. Our officials tonight, Steve Whitley. Had him on Sports Highlights. Reggie Proctor, Jerry Dye. We've had everybody on Sports Highlights.
I'm telling you, who hasn't been on Sports Highlights? It's a who's who, if you will.
All right, those are the assistant coaches. The head coach is in the light blue in the second seat with the blue tie. All right, let's focus here for 32 minutes. Menchville with the ball. At home. No score, just underway. Glad you're with us. Former NBA player Lamont Struthers played for Christopher Newport and C.J. Willem, the late C.J. Willem.
I'm telling you what, again, you talk about the history, Greg, the tradition of basketball in this area, and it goes so deep. So it's great to have Lamont Struthers in the house. And Stephon Welsh, you talk about what he was able to accomplish at Arkansas. I am just so excited about this matchup tonight.
Goldson at the free throw line for Menchville. Still no score. Glad you're with us. Woodside in the black. Menchville in the white uniforms. A lot of these schools like to switch up the colors. Menchville true and true to the purple, gold, and white.
Classic colors.
Of course, former NBA player Lamont Struthers and former Division I basketball player for Woodside, Stephon Welsh, who played for Woodside, and John Richardson.
And a former state champion to boot.
1-0 Menchville. Woodside with the ball going left to right. And a nice dunk right there, bringing it home.
Okay.
For Woodside. Number 1, Matt Nunez. Stephon Welsh there.
The great Stephon Welsh. Now he has to be happy about that nice slam by Nunez to get the game started for the Wolverines.
Nunez, let's make no doubt about it, it's a Division I prospect. And he's only a sophomore, folks. He's a showcase Division I player. Going to get better.
And you see Nunez all alone on the blocks. Take it in, big fella. Bringing the jam. I was really enthused about seeing him in the last game that we were able to call for the Woodside Wolverines. He's got a lot of tools there. It's just a matter of refining them, getting his game to another level.
It's like Greg Lesko's doing his thing in the truck.
I'm telling you, it's all about building on what you had, the foundation. And Nunez is one of these players that with 2 years left to go, he could be somebody that takes that step and plays at the next level.
Menchville's court, senior night. Glad you're with us for our showcase event tonight. High school basketball. Hope you enjoyed our wrestling earlier this year. Also, Denby and Woodside, Heritage and Warwick. And now we're at Menchville for their rivalry against the Wolverines. Menchville in the white uniforms. Menchville likes the motion offense. Woodside countering with the full court matchup zone defense. Menchville coached by Lamont Struthers, who played for C.J. Woolham at Christopher Newport. Likes the motion offense, man zone defense. Strength for Menchville is the perimeter. Weakness has been closing and finishing for Woodside under Stephon Welsh, the former Division I Arkansas player, the Razorback. They like the UVA offense, which you're seeing now. Full court matchup zone defense. Strength for Woodside is the speed. Weakness is the youth. Another dunk. Matt Nunez. He's got that height advantage.
I'm telling you, if you got the advantage, you might as well use it. Big fella doing work down low.
Like I said, during the Denby game, reminds me a lot of Mark Allery, who played for Coach K at Duke in the 80s. And kind of like Jim Spanarkel as well, played for Duke, and the late, great Bill Foster. Back to Nunez. And Mike Jaminski, who played for Duke.
Yeah.
He's got all that matched up in one.
Yeah, well, and that right there is the way you neutralize a big fella. Here you see it. Once again, they just lob it up to him on the blocks. He's able to get up there and put it down. Such a decisive weapon down low, but the way you neutralize that is you play him physical.
And Woodside misses by number 3, Coleman. Nunez, the spark plug for the Wolverines. Outside jumper, it's up, and it's good. That'll quiet Woodside's bench a little bit by number 24, respectively, for Menchville. That's Goldson, Ahmad Goldson.
And that's another way that you neutralize Nunez, is that you extend the defense by hitting perimeter shots. So great job by the Menchville Monarchs.
Menchville's got a great staff as well, supporting Coach Struthers. Playing a little volleyball there right now. Menchville working around methodically. The give and go is off. Woodside's got it. Mark Neesmith, Mike Kesey, Antonio Kellen, and Wayman Blakeney. The assistants for Menchville. The layup is good by the Monarchs. Hawkins.
And again, taking advantage. When your opponent misses a shot, that leaves you a free lane to go down on the fast break. And we're seeing it right now by Menchville, weathering the early storm by Nunez and the Wolverines, and now they're off and running.
Phoebus has been one of the top teams in the area, but Menchville's right there with them. Nice shot there by Alan Struthers, number 5. Got a lot of maturity from his father as well. Again, you got an NBA former player out here coaching against a Division I SEC elite school in Arkansas. You have to move without the ball and see things before they happen. Anticipation is so important.
Right.
Like that.
Anticipation, having that court vision. And you mentioned Struthers from Menchville. Whenever you're the coach's son, you're going to have more eyes on you. You're going to have more responsibility on your plate, and it's good to see what Struthers brings to the table.
Great point. 4'11". Got all the information you need right here, folks. There he is, Struthers. Played for the late, great C.J. Woolham. Played in the NBA. Has coached at several different schools in the area. Not easy replacing the late, great Ben Moore.
Absolutely not. A great job done so far this year by Coach Struthers, replacing Ben Moore, who is not only a giant on the court, but off the court as well, and he will be missed. But his memory, like you say, my friend, is eternal.
Absolutely. Woodside's got the ball. .340 left.
And after those two early dunks by Nunez, it's been all Menchville. Like, they were able to weather that early opening storm.
All right, folks, there's only .340 left. As far as the official clock, the clock there is moving a little rapidly.
Speaking of rapidly, this lead is extending rapidly by Menchville. They have found their groove now, my friend.
And they beat Woodside earlier on. We saw Woodside play Denby very well on our air recently. We're live tonight on Cox Cable 47, 517, nnpstv.com. Prime time all over Hampton Roads. Glad you're with us. At Greg Bick on Twitter.
At @8 MOZAIK, at Nate Mosaic.
Again, Steve Whitley, Reggie Proctor, Jerry Dye, the officials. Dye doing double duty. Girls and boys officiating. Not easy doing two games.
Absolutely not. Great job by our officials tonight. You got to have that stamina if you're going to work the doubleheader.
All Menchville so far at home. They're jacked up tonight for senior night here at the home of the Monarchs. Glad you're with us for this Tuesday showcase. Woodside just trying to get through this tough defense of Menchville. Got to use Nunez more often. Again, Woodside likes the UVA offense, pro set variety. Their defense is the full court matchup zones. Strength for Woodside is the speed, the weakness is the youth. For Menchville, the strength is the perimeter, weakness is closing and finishing at times. Menchville likes that motion offense, working out really well tonight.
And the thing right now we're seeing is nothing's going right for Woodside. Is they've got a weapon on the inside in Nunez, but Menchville's doing a good job rotating, denying him the ball in the post, and that's causing a bit of a malfunction so far early on by the Woodside Wolverines.
Menchville playing like they're in control at home. Monarchs got the ball in the white uniforms. Heated crowd tonight, enjoying this competition. Menchville trying to take Woodside out of the game, and Woodside counters with a layup.
Woo!
That'll be a foul on Nunez, pretty obvious. He tried to use his body, but you can't hide that.
and I got to give credit to Menchville, though, being aggressive, maybe trying to get him into foul trouble early on. Good strategy by Coach Struthers. Menchville at the charity stripe right now. Had a lot of success here early on.
And condolences to the late Jimmy Kumbas, who passed away recently. Used to own a restaurant in Newport News. All the best to the Kumbas family.
Absolutely, rest in peace. And again, just part of the fabric of the community. And so the memory will never be forgotten. So again, condolences to the family. And, we will remember.
17-6. Woodside struggling early on. But it's early, and there he goes, Nunez again. It's been the Matt Nunez show, but he needs some help.
He does. He needs some help, and I think what Woodside needs to do is slow down. They shouldn't be trying to run and gun with the Menchville Monarchs. And there you see another great play on the interior by Menchville, getting some points on the board.
Menchville's had some iconic coaches out here over the years. Jumper, trying to draw the foul, but he doesn't get it. Here's Nunez. And Menchville counter-punching. They'll give Nunez the opportunity and hope everybody else misses around it.
Well, it's like teams used to play against, great job right there, but it's like teams when they used to play against Shaq. Shaq can get his, but if I can keep the rest of the guys from scoring, we're going to win.
Yeah, because it's a 5-on-5 ball game.
Yep.
This is not 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 or half court.
Nope.
You can play a half court offense, but it's going to be tough against Menchville. Menchville is up by 13 with 58 seconds left in the quarter. Menchville's done a great job countering Nunez, and they're holding a 13-point lead.
And the thing is, Woodside is not some, random bottom-of-the-barrel team. Woodside came in there tonight with a record of 13-9. They're a team that has some good skill players, but Menchville is just running them off the court right now.
Menchville's got to stay focused, though. Of course, Menchville's had iconic coaches here like Phil Forbes, Pop Pitts, Greg Henderson, Dennis Katufas, Ben Moore, David Hagan, David Pope, David Macklin, DeQuan Lake have all played basketball here.
Yeah,
Lake was really special.
Lake was great. You talk about Mark Ardrey back in the 90s was a player that I remember.
Rodney Henderson.
Yep. It just the tradition, the legacy of athletics, academics, and activities here at Menchville.
You remember Jay Reed played for Menchville and Denby. So did Troy Wright. He played for Menchville and Denby as well. You like Jay Reed?
Jay Reed was a good guy, good quarterback. I liked him a little bit less when he was at Denby.
What about you and I matching tonight, huh?
But, hey,
we didn't even tell each other what we're going to wear. Either.
Great minds think alike, my friend.
It's true.
It's like having a great point guard on the court. Like, you don't even need to see the other player to get the pass accomplished.
We can at least give each other an A on the report card.
There you go.
And they'll still sustain through us. All right, final 30 seconds. All Menchville so far. Total control. Menchville working the ball around, dribbling the basketball. How important is hand-eye coordination and footwork?
Extremely important, especially when you talk about the rotation, Greg, and ball movement. And again, you talk about shot selection, attacking the glass, transition. You want to play your game, not the opponent, and get that focus and intensity down. And that's what we've seen from Menchville.
Ball possession, ball control. Watch the weak side turnovers and mistakes. Get that bench involved. Final few seconds. First quarter. We had 3 officials tonight. Greg Bick of Air State Milton, glad you're with us anywhere on Cox Cable 47-517 and NPSTV.com. Courtside here at midcourt.
And another thing that Menchville is doing, which is smart, is they're making Nunez work. Whenever he gets the ball down low, there's at least 2 bodies going to him. So he's having to work and expend energy early on.
And I got to admit, we've had great, well-behaved crowds at all of our venues in wrestling, in basketball at Woodside, and basketball at Warwick, and tonight at Menchville. We've covered all the teams in 3 games. That's it. 1 quarter underway and done in the books. Menchville up 21-10. Stay tuned.
I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer.
Our younger students have the right idea. Today's leading careers are involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. Newport News Public Schools has embarked on an aggressive STEM education initiative that prepares students to take full advantage of STEM opportunities in higher education and career fields. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
All right. The correct score is Menchville 21, Woodside 10. Woodside's had Nunez, but they need more help.
Right. Man cannot live by bread alone, and Woodside's offense cannot live by Mac Nunez alone. And so they've got to get the other guys invested. They got to get Scott involved and Jemison and Coleman. They got to get involved in the offense.
Get the fans involved, too.
Man, this is a great crowd tonight.
One of the better ones we've seen since we were at Warwick several years ago when the late, great Ben Moore came back to Warwick.
Now you see again the score 21-10.
In favor of Menchville.
Home team Menchville on top. And this is what you want to see, Greg, from a rivalry game. Just this environment with the community coming out to support both teams.
Action-packed crowd. Woodside going left to right. That UVA offense. Now, the UVA offense don't work against Duke. And it hasn't worked in the NCAA tournament either.
That seems to be the only team in the regular season that they can't get it done against is Duke.
Nunez misses. Both teams need to crash the boards. And going in for the layup and the miss was number 32 for Menchville, Harrison.
And there you see Struthers again, Greg. I have been so impressed with how he's been able to keep what Benmore built, the foundation that Benmore laid down, and keep it going. And this team is somebody I would not want to face in the postseason.
And he played in the NBA, so
Yeah.
he's got the instant credibility.
Yep.
That not many else can say that, especially in this area.
Yep.
And we had Allen Iverson. But very few players have played in the NBA from this area. Anthony Solomon's in the house tonight, too, the former Warwick and Virginia basketball player. All right, second quarter. Woodside made a much-needed three by number 3, Coleman.
And
You need to work on the little things to get you back in the game.
And that's exactly what the doctor called for, Greg.
And they took their time and they made the shot. They're not panicking. It's still early. Second quarter. They're only down by 8 after that shaky start. Tough to win on the road, like we mentioned.
And
Woodside in the dark uniforms slipping there. And you got to watch the moisture on the floor.
Yep, you got to take care of that. But, you know, you talk about Coleman hitting that shot. The more you get guys like Coleman and Avery Scott involved, the easier it's going to become from Nunez down low, because they're not going to be able to double and triple him down low.
Use your weapons. Metro with the ball in the white uniforms. Remember, as a kid, used to watch David Hagan shoot off the glass here. Best shooter off the glass I've ever seen was David Hagan, who played for Pop Pitts. Metro trying to keep that tradition. And the shot is up and it's no good. Out there for Menchville is Jenkins, as well as respectively Herman. Number 32, they're going to their bench, which is smart. Harrison. Number 1, Brown. And number 12, Kesey, whose dad's an assistant as well. Woodside at the free throw line, that is Jimison. Also out there for Woodside is Coleman. Out there is number 5, Ely for Woodside in the dark uniforms. 2, Brevard. You see the former Arkansas star, Stephon Welsh. And, of course, number 1, the showcase player, Matt Nunez for Woodside. So, great rosters out here tonight.
Yeah, great job by both coaches. And there you see the shot. But the thing with Stephon Welsh, as you mentioned, he's got his own credibility. And that comes from being on a state champion, being in the position that these young men are in right now.
They can draw from both of their experience. Great wealth of knowledge by both coaches. Well said, Nathaniel Milton. Woodside with the ball. Both teams thinking regionals now, but they got to get through this game tonight. Nice layup right there by number 5, respectively. That was Ely. And Woodside's back in the game, on the road. Down by 4.
I'm telling you, basketball is a game of runs, Greg. We saw it earlier in the girls' game. Now we're seeing it in the guys' game. Woodside able to get right back into the thick of things.
You got to move without the ball, crash the boards, be aggressive like Menchville has. Inside-outside play, mix it up. Focus on this game, make it a team effort, all-inclusive. Rotate the players like Coach Struthers is. Keep that desire for 32 minutes. Avoid foul trouble early. Stay in the game. Do not get behind early.
Absolutely. And you know what? They need to cover the weak side. They need to block out. Get off to a good start. The crowd it's already been a factor. Use it as a 6-man and move without the ball. To me, that's the key for their offense. They got to move without the ball. You know, and you'd also, that one-and-done mentality, it's a 12-month season. You have to show up, the accountability, hold each man accountable, focus on the task at hand. That momentum is key. Can you get off to a good first half and carry that over into the second half?
Watch those turnovers. You don't want to get sloppy and lackadaisical when you're ahead. Metro only up by 4, so that adrenaline, that energy, that senior night, it's like a Diet Coke. Without no fizz, it can wear off.
Well, it's like a 5-hour energy. You get that energy boost up front, but then you're going to crash. And can you survive that crash? And that's what we're going to see from Menchville right now.
Woodside working around very well. Almost like the four corners that Dean Smith used to do with Phil Ford and Mitch Kupchak and Tommy Lagarde. Menchville's got the ball. And the give and go off by number 22 for the Monarchs, Hawkins. Both teams got so many weapons they can throw at you.
Yeah, and I've liked, especially the defense right now that we're seeing from Menchville. Led to the steal, led to the fast break. Hawkins didn't get the basket to go down, but he did get a trip to the free throw line. So we'll see if Menchville can take advantage of, we're already seeing Coach Struthers go to the bench, rotate guys in and out, keep his team fresh.
And you can't make everybody happy. You have to do what's best for the team to get the W. You're still going to remember the W.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, the victory. It's like Herm Edwards used to say, you play to win the game. That's what it's all about.
He's coaching again, Pac-12.
Yep, Arizona State.
Not in the AAF, huh? I saw a little bit of that. It's okay.
I was going to say, Michael Vick is a coach in the AAF.
Consultant.
The Atlanta Legends.
Yep, he is a legend around here. Less than 5 minutes. And the ball goes out. All right, we're at Newport News, Virginia. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. Want to welcome everybody watching on Cox Cable 47, 517 in our primetime evening tonight, nnpstv.com. You got the remote. Lock it in here.
This is the game of the night as we see Jemison at the free throw line.
Yep, Khalif, number 0.
Big-time rivalry, big-time matchup. As both of these teams, like we talked about off the top, Greg, they want to win this game to get that momentum for the postseason.
Menchville with the ball. That's Struthers, number 5. Coach's son loops it around. Outside jumper is way off by number 22. Hawkins, you want to stay focused and just don't rush your shot. No reason to rush.
Yeah, Hawkins, sometimes your mind can go ahead of your shot, and Hawkins should have passed the ball. We should have had one more outlet pass. Unfortunately, took the shot. So now Woodside reaps the benefit. They're going to get the ball now.
Glad you're with us on your phone, on the go, on TV. nnpstv.com. Also go to our YouTube channel as well. For more, log on to nnpstv.com. Outside jumper is up and it's good by number 3, Coleman. Wow, an excellent shot right there. Talked to him before the game. Jaden Kesey.
That was a big-time play. Let's take a look here. Coleman doing it from the outside. He's the key. It's that 1-2 punch. You got Nunez on the inside and then Coleman from the outside. That's Woodside's key to success.
And Menchville at the free throw line right now. Up by 1 point. Woodside's really got back in this game. Got to really stay focused here and button up. In the second quarter, Woodside with the ball. On the road. Tough to win on the road. They're trying to take a lead here. They can with this basket. And Menchville gets the rebound. We got a halftime feature coming up. Stay tuned for that. Mr. Price always gives me the green light on that with the Menchville wrestling squad. Correct, Mr. Price? Yep, Giovanni Hales did play. He wrestles, absolutely wrestles and plays football. We saw Giovanni Hales wrestle for Menchville.
Yeah, Giovanni, a beast on the mat as well as the gridiron. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, folks, here at halftime.
That's the best of both worlds. We got Hales, who wrestled and plays football for Menchville. Trying to get that winning tradition going on in other sports.
Yep. And you talk about tradition. We just saw Stephon Welch for the Woodside Wolverines there coming from that tradition. And you want to talk about winners, rising 11th graders. If you want to join a winning team, check out the telecom production here, folks. Give them a call to schedule a tour to get more information. 757-591-4687. Again, rising 11th graders interested in TV production, call for more info or to schedule a tour, 591-4687, extension 0.
Yeah, Giovanni Hales, Seth Mayatola, both football players, and of course, Hales wrestles as well.
And the good thing about that, if you're a wrestler, bringing that to the football field, is you learn about leverage. You learn about using your weight to your advantage on the mat, and if you can bring that to the football field, that just makes you a much more dangerous player.
Woodside right now trying to be methodical here on offense. Outside jumper, off. Maybe didn't need that shot that early. Here comes Struthers. And Nunez right there. It's kind of hard to get past Nunez.
Yeah, he's
like Mark Allery and Mike Jaminski.
A beast in the middle, a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Woodside missing 2 outside shots in a row. But they get the boards back. And to get that Nunez baseline shot way off. That's 3 bad misses by Woodside.
And that is not, Nunez can do a lot of things, Greg, but that is not his game right there.
You need offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding on both ends. 3 officials again tonight. Steve Whitley, Reggie Proctor, and Jerry Dye. We're at Menchville High School in Newport News. The court that Pop Pitts made famous here. See the coach right there, Struthers. Pop Pitts had David Hagan and David Pope before you got here, a few years before you got here. Nobody in Newport News basketball history shot better off the glass than David Hagan. David Pope played in the NBA as well and played for Norfolk State.
And again, that legacy, that tradition, you talk about Hagan, you talk about Pope, you go to David Macklin, you go to Mark Ardrey, Mike Ricks, Sean Ricks, some of the great players that we've seen. Lake out here for the Menchville Monarchs, and that tradition continues now with Coach Struthers and his son, Alvin Struthers, number 5 out here on the court. So I have been very impressed with what Menchville has been able to do this season.
Menchville with the ball. Holding on to that 1-point lead, Nathaniel. A lot of alumni watching on TV. Hello to you guys and gals. Our great elementary, middle, and high school. So we always give a shout out to our great elementary school students who are staying up late watching us.
I think they got permission tonight, Greg, because it's a special event, so they can stay up a little bit later.
Get your favorite snack and enjoy the game from Fazoli's.
There you go. Give Fazoli's a call. Head over to Fazoli's. Check them out online, Fazoli's.com.
What Woodside is trying to do is take their time, not rush it. And then what do? You get too careless and you get a turnover. That's why Stephon Welsh has got his hands on his waist.
Yeah, well, this game is about adjustments and then making adjustments to the adjustments. So we've seen both coaches go back and forth like a chess match. I was looking so forward to seeing Struthers and Welsh tonight go at it from a mental standpoint on the coaching level, and now this has been everything we've expected and more.
Keep in mind the goals for the postseason. You've been working since the fall for this moment. Forget quickly and move on. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Get the fans involved in the game. Menchville's gotten a little quiet here tonight. They're up by 2.
And we've got like we said, Greg, we've got a great atmosphere here tonight. Great crowd out for senior night here for the Menchville Monarchs. But it's an exciting rivalry game. But Woodside is effectively taking the crowd out of the game the last 5 minutes or so.
Showcase event tonight. Stephon Welsh was coached by Stan Heath and John Pelfrey at Arkansas, using a lot of that knowledge tonight. 25-22 Menchville on defense. Nunez gets fouled. He has an eye for the basketball.
I'm telling you, big fella's got some moves around the rim, and they do a good job. Woodside is doing a really good job of moving Nunez around so they can find different places to get him the ball and exploit that matchup that we see due to the height issues.
Menchville won the earlier game this year on the road. Woodside trying to get revenge. See, Nunez reminds me a lot of Mark Allery and Mike Jaminski, who played for Duke, for Coach K and Coach Foster. Coach K in his 39th year at Duke. Unbelievable. Menchville with the ball on this February winter night here in Newport News. Glad you're with us on all the mediums. Nice layup, very methodical by number 12, Jaden Kesey from Menchville, giving them a 4-point lead.
And Kesey
made it easy.
Kesey making it easy. I'm telling you, but the thing with Kesey is I like what he's doing out there against Nunez. Like, he's not as physical as Nunez, but he's bothering him just enough to be able to get things done and counteract him.
Sometimes you get in no man's land and you got to, watch the paint.
Yep.
How well you work in the paint. Folks, if you don't know what the paint is, it's the purple inside the court. Remember, we used to add class to your life here, remember? That was one of our slogans.
Yep.
And then PSTV, add class to your life.
I'm going to say, look.
Nate a Menchville graduate, I'm a Ferguson graduate. A little rivalry here.
Nunez spends more time in the paint than Earl Shine, folks.
Hey, you went to Menchville, but your first live event was Ferguson and Hampton, my friend. Let's don't forget that.
Hey, the great tradition of athletics, academics, and activities here, folks.
Mr. C had you in the parade.
Yep, we're going down Jefferson.
And then he put me in the parade in Oyster Point '96. Ray Price doing camera, of course. And Ray was producing and editing and directing and everything else. No, Ray, you did. At Ferguson, we did that segment. You did camera for that, my friend. Live parade. Yep, that was a long time ago. It was 23 years ago.
Yep.
And Shirley Wells. Yep, absolutely. Woo. Was the school channel and city channel working so well together.
AC Allen Struthers working that offense well together.
And Woodside's got the ball down by 4 with 55 seconds left till intermission. Stay tuned for a halftime show. Building it up. Giovanni Hales and Seth Neatola. Menchville football players. And, of course, Hales, as we alluded to, a wrestler that we televised earlier this year on our airwaves. Sound like the fire alarm is going on. The music is playing.
Maybe that music got into the heads of the Woodside Wolverines a little bit.
The coach had to go turn it down. He really got off the court to go turn the music down. It's all types of distractions, Nathaniel.
Anything can happen, my friend. Live TV.
We've seen it all tonight. 29-25, Menchville holding on to the last shot, which is smart. That's Struthers, number 5. Two seconds. 29-25. That's the whole point of staying focused. You can't do that against the better teams.
Now we'll see if Woodside can get a quick Hail Mary, get a shot off.
Here come the Wolverines. And it's off. Nice attempt, though, by Khalif Jimison. All right, we played 16. We got 16 to go. It is Menchville 29, Woodside 25. Stay tuned.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Enjoyed our first half, 29-25 Menchville. Nate and I will come back in the second half. Enjoy this nice segment with Giovanni Hales and Seth Neatola, both Menchville football players. Enjoy it.
It's a pleasure to talk to Giovanni Hales and Seth Neatola, both Menchville football players, sophomore and junior. Good to see you.
Yes,
Giovanni, how did you get involved in football?
I was 5 years old. My mom didn't want me in the house all the time, so she just threw me out there. I cried for a little bit, but I started loving it.
My older brother was playing it for a couple years, and then when my age came, my parents asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, sure, and I've been in love with it ever since.
Right. Hasn't always been easy for you guys at Menchville, but the game that we did against Denby was special.
Yes, because we just knew that they're not better than us, and we're stronger physical.
Yeah, it was, we just saw that all the games we had were close, and then all the Denby's was like blowouts, so.
Right. The only game that really was not close for y'all was the Dorcom game, right?
And Phoebus.
Yeah, Phoebus, right, of course. But when you had the game on TV, a lot of your friends and family members saw it, and they even picked up on your new nickname, the Hailstorm, right?
Yes.
From the TV game, right?
Yes, they picked it up. Everybody says it.
Oh, they all say the Hailstorm. You kind of like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Very nice, very nice. Talk about your position you played and what are your goals for the off season?
As a linebacker, I'm just working on getting stronger and faster while keeping my speed while gaining more weight. So this off season, I'm planning to go to college camps like UNC, VA, Virginia Tech, and then I'm gonna try and hit up the Nike Combine and see how far I can go from there.
Running back, just trying to work on my speed and my catching. But we didn't show a lot of catching this year, but trying to work on that. And like you said, hit up colleges, go to camps, get known.
You had to improvise a lot this year because the line was, hit or miss sometimes, but you always found a gap.
Yes. Last year, 9th grade year, I didn't do as well. So 10th grade year, I just worked on my vision because I know some of our line is young, and most of the people out here in the PD are older and stronger. So sometimes my linemen get blown back, so I just got to find a hole.
Right. Now, as far as your team, it was just about closing the deal. That should be the goal for next year because y'all were close this year. I mean, it wasn't a great record, but like you said, every game was close except for 2 games. So y'all are really closing the gap.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to get over the hump?
I mean, it's just a team mentality. Like everyone has to want it just as much as me. It can't just be me or Gio wanting it. It has to be the whole team. It needs to be the whole team if we want to start closing the deals and winning.
Right, and you know this, Hale, that takes 4 quarters. I mean, you got to close the deal, right? First quarter, second. You can be ahead, and then all of a sudden everything can change in the 4th quarter.
Yes. It's just we have not a lot of people on our team, so many people play both ways. They get tired. We just need to work on saving our energy and like finishing, like beating teams first, second, third quarter, and then 4th quarter, just like stopping them.
Yeah, basically what he said, but it's just
Mindset.
Yeah, mindset.
I'll say this, in all the years we've done Menchville football games, that was one of the better games on TV. And I'm sure y'all got a lot of compliments from that game because that had to make the school spirit when they saw it on TV, they saw your replays, and everybody was proud. I know your family was too.
Yes, I probably watched that tape like 1,000 times. But other than that, it was just, we knew that Demi had no competition with us. So it's not like a big edge. We wanted to be like Woodside, like the top dogs. But Denby was just a team that it could be.
And y'all played Woodside tough too.
Yeah, it was just at that point, Denby, that was like our 3 games in 2-week period. And we just like lost one against Woodside. And then we had to worry about Phoebus. So we weren't really worried about Denby as much. We were just like, let's just get this dub and then focus on the next game.
Right. I'm so glad they're here today, Shivani Hales and Seth Niatola. This was a year of interruptions, Hales. I mean, you guys were constantly interrupted by the weather and rescheduling, always makeup games. How did you deal with that?
We dealt with it well. It was just 1 week. We couldn't have like straight practice because of the weather. And Bethel game, we was up, and then 4th quarter, they didn't delayed it because of the storm. So then they had time. Bethel had time to rest, figure out a game plan, and execute it.
Yeah, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Bethel and Hampton were the top teams. Y'all played Hampton tough this year too.
Oh yeah, it was a tough game, but without Gio, our main offensive weapon, it was a lot our offense could have done, but they still tried their best against him.
Talking football in our first segment, how do you balance academics, athletics, and activities?
At the beginning, like, it was hard, but at 9th grade it was hard, but going into my 10th grade year, it's easy because our coaches, before practice, they give us an hour of study hall. So we study, and they tell us it's up to us if we want it. So if you want it, you got to do what you got to do.
Academics is a priority. Colleges, they don't just look at your athletic, also academics, so I make academics a priority.
Talk about your coach. Of course, he's no longer the coach, Ray Savage. I know everybody liked Ray.
Yeah, that was like our father figures at football, where, I'm still going to stay in contact with him. And
that's just part of football. It changes. It changes in college, changes in the NFL too. Talk about Ray.
He's a huge part of just how I got better and how I got adjusted to football. I started as a freshman, but it was like a big deal. But Coach Sav, he really helped me and like told me the things I needed to do, and I got used to it. I look up to our coach Ray Savage.
Right, of
I
course.
hope the best for wherever he goes.
Sure, of course, he played at work, kind of like you as kids, and, went to UVA, played for George Welsh. What are your college goals? Now, you still have a few years left, but have you started thinking about colleges, and what team do you like to watch the most?
Oh, my favorite team's Alabama. Roll Tide.
Yeah. They struggled against Citadel, though, didn't they?
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. But, yeah, hopefully, I told my peoples that I don't want to stay in Virginia for college. But I'll take any offer, but I just don't want to stay in Virginia. I want to go out and, explore different places.
Right. Of course, Menchville's had some alumni that have gone on. Altoon went to Wisconsin, played for the Jets, and, of course, David Macklin played for Penn State and the Colts. What about you as far as college?
Any college would do. I only need one.
Right.
As far as scholarships go, it's just I look at football as using it as a vehicle to pursue my education.
Right.
But any specifics, I don't know. I like West Coast colleges,
Sure.
Pac-12, because I have a lot of family out there.
Right. What's your favorite subject?
Probably math.
Advanced physical sports,
Very good.
advanced team sports.
Very good. What's your advice to give to a kid that wants to play football for Menchville?
If you're ready to be physical, if you're ready to advance, or be in a good program that's working on being in the playoffs, come.
Football's not for everybody.
Right. You're right. You're exactly right. Tell it like it is. Of course, thank you guys for being on the show today. Giovanni Hales, Seth Nantola, both Menchville football players, both coming back in the fall of 2019. Thank you for your time and your talent today and for being good role models for the other kids and adults as well.
Thank you.
All right.
The Navy Junior Reserves Officer Training Corps, or NJROTC, provides military science and leadership training for high school students. Enrollment in NJROTC does not require you to pursue a military obligation after high school. If you complete 2 to 3 years in NJROTC, you can enter the military in higher grades than other enlistees. For more information, please contact your school guidance counselor or visit www.njrotc.navy.mil or www.navyjrotc.us.
All right, we're back here at Menchville High School in Newport News, Virginia. Greg Bickabears, Nate Milton, our entire crew will get to them in the fourth quarter. We're in the third quarter, and Menchville is up by 4, but barely.
Yeah, it's been a back-and-forth game, my friend, and I think the interesting thing that we've seen so far is the way Menchville has responded to Matt Nunez in the middle. He's a very game-changing type of weapon for the Woodside Wolverines, but Menchville has done a good job to kind of scheme him out of things so far in the latter part of the first half. So we'll see if that continues here in the second half.
Woodside's got that 1-2 punch of Jimison and Nunez. Menchville, of course, relying heavily on Goldson and Struthers.
Yeah, and I think what we saw early on is defense is the key for both teams. Whichever team can force the most turnovers, I think that's going to be the team that comes away with the victory tonight, Greg.
High school basketball at Newport News tonight. It is Woodside and Menchville. Great rivalry between two city showcase schools, eyeing the regionals, but they need to get by tonight first. That's one thing you don't want to look too far ahead, as our good friends Fazoli's and Michelle, 11739 Jefferson Avenue, also a location in Chesapeake. Go by there 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Fill up on some pasta and those breadsticks.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, folks, carbs might not be good for me, but it's good to treat yourself every now and then.
It's pizza goodness.
It's goodness, pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fazoli's, Fazoli's.com. Again, they feed our crew. Let them feed yours. Shout out to Michelle and the good people over at Fazoli's.
Look, so many restaurants close down every day. Just saw where a recent Hampton chain closed down, so you never know.
And it's part of, the fabric of the community.
Fazoli's been there for several decades. Great job, Michelle and the crew. All right, Menchville's got the ball. Fresh 8-minute quarters. We'll see what both teams adjusted from halftime. And one time at halftime, you regroup. Other times you can lose your focus too. It's how you come out those early few minutes.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of these teams is going to lose their focus when you got coaches the caliber of Stephon Welch and Lamont Struthers on the sidelines. I think both teams are going to come out here with the game plan intact. It's just a matter of will they be able to execute it.
Woodside going right to left in the black uniform. It's kind of a machine gray looking uniform. Kind of like my car almost. And then, of course, Menchville in the white. Nate's Mr. Lift himself. Here comes Struthers with a steal.
Speaking of a lift.
Struthers getting a steal. Uber and a lift there.
Struthers doing a good job of kicking things off here in the second half, using that defense to turn into offense. That's exactly what Menchville needs to widen this lead.
Kind of reminds me back in the day, Left Drizel had his son Chuck Drizel playing for him. Not always easy, and Tarkanian at UNLV had his son playing.
Not easy being the son of the coach. You know, it can come with a lot of responsibilities.
And speaking of responsibility, just like we mentioned in the outset, Jemison connects.
I really like Jemison and Coleman from the outside to complement Nunez on the interior. That's what Woodside's going to need more of that if they want to win tonight.
Menchville missing. Here come the Wolverines, hungry here in the third quarter. Euro step is good. That was a Euro step, folks, by Ely.
Ely taking us to Paris or to
Greece,
to Greece or Rome, maybe, with the Euro step. Totally froze his defender. Great job by the Woodside Wolverines finding a way back into this contest.
Menchville up by 2 with 6:05 left in the third quarter. Remember, no shot clock in high school basketball. Glad you're with us. We're at Menchville High School in Newport News. Jumper is good by Struthers. Smooth as silk.
And Struthers missed a couple shots early on in the game, Greg, but I think right now he's starting to find his groove, starting to find his game right now. And Struthers certainly one of the team leaders for this Menchville Monarchs team. Whoa. Good interior defense by Menchville, not allowing Jemison to get to the basket.
And our officials, Steve Whitley, Reggie Proctor, Jerry Dye tonight. 3 officials in girls and boys basketball. Such tradition here at Menchville, like we mentioned over the years. And the shot is up and it's good by number 3, respectively, Coleman.
Coleman again, one of those great exterior guys, but Menchville responds on the count on the other end.
By Gilliam. He said, get my name right. You got it right, my friend. We always get it right, or we try to at least. We have fun, and glad you're with us here on TV. Woodside with the ball, at Greg Bick on Twitter.
At in the number 8, MOZAIK.
Jemison is hot.
Jemison and Coleman in back-to-back possessions, able to knock it down from the outside. Not only does that bring them to an even score right now, 35 all, but it's going to open up things on the interior for Nunez.
Menchville trying to get the lead back, and they do. That was dangerous in the paint, too.
Dangerous, but nice job by number 22, Hawkins, using his skill, his ability, and his will to get that shot in.
Got the Grammys, the Oscars, but right now we got the Menchvilles. And nice shot there by number 2. Woodside's on fire by Brevard. Bravo.
Bravo for Brevard. I mean, you talk about the Oscars, that might have been the best shot by a newcomer right there. Or the Grammys, that might have been the best collaboration right there for the Woodside Wolverines. Either way, they got the points.
Both teams are hot here in the third quarter. 39-38 Menchville. See Struthers all fired up. Number 5 for the Monarchs.
And Struthers, not only is he one of the team leaders, but he's an extension of his father. He's an extension of the coach on the court.
For Woodside, Nunez is out there, as well as number 3, respectively. And that's Coleman. Number 5, Ely. Number 2, Brevard for Woodside. And 0, Jemison. For Menchville, you got Struthers. You got Gilliam. You got Kesey. You got Jenkins. As well as number 22. Wow. Hawkins.
Struthers is finding his range in this quarter, Greg.
He is getting this party started in the third quarter. Having a TV party here in Newport News tonight. Nunez, step back shot. Trying to look like Harden a little bit. You got to be yourself, that's the thing. Back door for Menchville.
Speaking of being yourself, Hawkins going up and in with the basket. Menchville has got that momentum right now, Greg.
Menchville with a 6-point lead just like that. The eye of the Tiger tonight. Jumper is up, and it's good. Menchville's got the hot hand. Jenkins. Menchville in the white. Woodside in the machine gray. Menchville got an 8-point lead.
And that was a very smart timeout right there by Stephon Welch. He can sense the tide turning. He can sense the momentum leaning towards the Menchville Monarchs.
And the coaches see things the players don't, that vision off the court.
Yeah, and so we got two really good coaches here. You got Struthers for the Menchville Monarchs and Welch for the Woodside Wolverines, and they're going back and forth with each other. And I think what we just saw right there was what Menchville wants to do. They want to get things started with Allen Struthers and then come across with Hawkins and Jenkins and Harrison and let those other guys feed off his energy.
There you see the score, 46-38 Menchville, 2:39 left in the third quarter. Of course, our Newport News coaches, Chambly for Denby, Radford for Heritage, Struthers for Menchville, Stagg for Warwick, and Welsh for Woodside. At Greg Bick on Twitter, at Sports Highlight.
And of course, at in the number 8, MOZAIK, at Nate Mosaic on Twitter, folks.
If you're watching the game, text us a hi, 757-291-4234. Only tonight, though, text us a hi, 757-291-4234. Tell us your first name. We'll give you a shout-out. Nunez, yes.
Woo. You can't leave Nunez open one-on-one in the post like that.
And Gilliam connects.
Wow. Went up in the trees, said fee, 5, 4, fum. I'm not scared of the Giant. Put it in. Gilliam doing a good job counteracting and responding to what Nunez was able to do on the other end.
Menchville just maintaining and sustaining tonight.
And the momentum is something that can continue to grow, and you can feed off of that. You can get the crowd back into it. It's something that Menchville wants to do right now. But if you're Woodside, if you're the Woodside Wolverines and Coach Wells, you want to stem that tide, folks. And again, don't forget 757-291-4234. Let us know your name, and we'll give you a shout-out, folks. Tonight only, one night only, we are live, 291-4234.
Texas. See Struthers right there. Former CNU player. Back then CNC. That was a long time ago, CNC.
And he was one heck of a college player.
Woodside machine gray uniforms. Little green and white trim. Way outside. Way off. You can't get it all back at once.
No, you cannot. This is not the MTV Rock and Jock basketball where they got the 10-point shot. So that was an ill-advised attempt right there by the Wolverines.
Or even that 4-point shot in that 3-on-3 lead.
Yeah, the big three with Ice Cube. And Allen Iverson, who we talked about earlier.
I was hoping Iverson would have played a little bit longer. Yep. I just think he just got over. When he left the NBA, that was pretty much for him.
Yeah. And even his last few years in the NBA, you know, he wasn't the Allen Iverson of old.
I mean, he'll be 44 this year, so he probably thinks he can still play, though. 51-40. Menchville opening it up. Woodside's got to pick up that intensity here in the third quarter.
And it's no coincidence Menchville has gone on this run once Allen Struthers has started nailing his shots.
And no good. All of a sudden, Menchville's keeping Nunez out of the game here. Got to get Nunez back involved. He's such a key player for the Wolverines. Kesey, yes. Icing on the cake for number 12, Jaden Kesey.
Woo! Struthers with the pass, and there you see it, easy peasy, Jaden Kesey. Menchville is starting to feel this momentum, folks.
54-40. There's Struthers out to Kesey.
The leadership.
Those two, great vision. Bang. Kind of look like Pat Mahomes throwing the ball out there.
And good leaders get their teammates involved, and that's what we're seeing right now from Struthers.
Takes a village, it really does. 51 seconds left in the third quarter. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us here in Newport News.
And these two teams were trading shots early in the game, Greg, like two heavyweights. But you wonder, maybe some of the body blows are starting to catch up to Woodside now, and maybe they just don't have enough to come back against this tough Menchville team.
Yeah, Woodside starting to show some fatigue here. All right, we're getting the text. Nate, go ahead and plug the number while I promote our text here as well.
757-291-4234. Let us know your first name so we can give you a shout out here live, folks.
All right, Tony, hello from Woodside. Thank you for watching. Remember, we only give out first names.
What's up, Tony?
Hello, Tony. Thank you for watching, my friend. Right now, Tony's Woodside team is down 54-40. How can people get involved, Mr. Energy?
757-291-4234. Let us know your first name, and we'll give you a shout-out. Send us a text, folks.
We always get some good response.
Nothing like live athletics, folks. This is a big-time game, the game of the night, folks.
Facebook Live ain't got nothing on this.
And I'm telling you, glad to be able to bring this to you.
Final second, no good, no good. All right, we got one more quarter left. Stay tuned and see if Woodside can come back. They're down by 14. All right, we're back live right here. Good to see Anthony Solomon right here. Played for Jim Harvey at Warwick High School in Newport News. See if we can get a shot of Anthony. He's walking up the stairs right here. Played for UVA and Terry Holland. He's walking up in the red shoes right there. Anthony Solomon, we've always mentioned his name at Warwick.
Yeah.
Played for Jim Harvey, and he played for Terry Holland. He was there when a lot of great players from Virginia were there after Ralph Sampson.
Yeah, one of the all-time greats from the area, folks. And again, that's what it's all about, that tradition. When you talk about the legacy of players like an Anthony Solomon, of players like a Stephon Welsh, of players like a Lamont Struthers, like an Allen Iverson, like a David Macklin.
All right, you're Coach Milton, you're Coach Welsh. What do you got to do? You're down by 14.
I think you got to remember who you are, remember what brought you to the dance, and that's the inside-out game. So you got to start pounding on the inside with Nunez, and maybe that'll open up some shots for Coleman and Jemison on the outside.
Less than 8 minutes left in this game. Steve Whitley, Reggie Proctor, Jerry Dyer, officials. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Thank you to all the fans watching as well. Live on Cox Cable 47-517, NMPSTV.com. You brought the fire in the girls' game, and the flame continues.
Right, and this is what it's all about, the rivalries here. As we see number 4, Avery Brooks at the Avery Brooks, the actor from Deep Space Nine. Avery Scott maybe going where no man has gone before at the free throw line right now. But yeah, this is what it's all about. You want to see that intensity, Greg. You want to see that rivalry. You want to see both of these teams compete hard for 32 minutes.
Herman back into the game for Menchville, number 3.
Easy Stephon Welsh.
You got Struthers as well as Jenkins. Menchville's usually using their bench very well. And Gilliam's out there as well as Kesey.
And that's something that Struthers has been doing almost since the first quarter. Just rotating guys, keeping them fresh. And again, speaking of fresh, don't forget the text line, folks, 757-291-4234. Let us know your first name. We'll give you a shout-out like these folks here in attendance.
Nice give and go
live
by number 2. Brevard. Woodside needs it, and they need a lot more.
They need more of that. They need to score punches and bunches right now. They got to get some offense going, some sustained offense. But great give and go by the Menchville Monarchs on the inside.
Not easy for Kesey right there. Don't forget sports highlights on nnpstv.com on the homepage. Want to thank our great friends. Who's ever calling right now, please just text us. Just text us. We can't take live calls, but we appreciate it. You can text us at 757-291-4234.
Definitely appreciate the love, everybody watching live tonight, folks.
All right, so we got 10 minutes probably of real time, 7:09 left in the ball game. Regardless, the clock is what matters. 10 minutes is nothing as far as real time in basketball with timeouts. Ooh, a little aggressive there. That was an obvious foul by number 5, Ely, but they didn't call it. You saw it, Nate.
Yeah, letting them play a little
Struthers
bit here.
is livid.
Yeah, Struthers did not take too kind of that. Struthers feeling some type of way about that call by our officiating crew.
Remember, text us, don't call. 757-291. All right, Jenkins. Grandpapa's calling and texting. All right. Congratulations, Mr. Jenkins. As you see your family member out here doing very well tonight.
Yep, Jenkins, number 2 for the Menchville Monarchs out there.
And his family member texting us saying hello. Thank you to all of our great viewers tonight.
There you see sports highlights Mondays at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m., as well as Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Cox 47 and Verizon Fios Channel 17.
And we got HU focused on this month, Menchville next month.
And again, you talk about, the tradition. Sports highlights certainly one of the traditions in this area year after year.
Thank you, Mr. Milton. 10-point lead for Menchville at home. One senior night.
So we got all the stars out here tonight,
Getting a shout out, 757-291-4234. Text 757-291-4234. Here comes Struthers, very poised. The give and go to Gilliam is off.
Wow.
Nunez, they're getting a sweat out here tonight.
I'm telling you, Nunez just adjusted that shot by his presence. Both teams going hard in the paint.
And Woodside showing fatigue. And a nice shot there by number 2 for Menchville, Jenkins.
There he is.
Just as his grandpa was texting us. He answered for his grandpa.
You're going to do it like Grandpa told you how to do it, son. Great job right there by the Menchville Monarchs on the fast break. Jenkins putting it in for the score.
You can do the same thing Jenkins did by texting us.
And there you see right
the
there.
The Tony fast break.
That's for you, Grandpa.
And Tony from St. Vincent.
There you go.
Text us a hi, 757-291-4234.
Man, this is what it's all about, Greg. The community watching this game is one. This is what it's all about.
And this is the one disadvantage football doesn't have.
Yeah.
Is you can actually see people. You don't have to worry about the weather as Menchville makes it. Well, in football, you really don't see many people there because it's cold or wet or damp. And the players are hidden with the helmets. And here it's front and center.
And at times, getting to the stadium, it can be a hassle. Whereas this, you got the atmosphere here, and you're watching it at home. You're seeing.
You can take your jacket off and relax.
You're seeing what it's all about. Like, it's cold outside, but it is hot in here in the gym from this excitement.
Menchville's picked up that intensity in the fourth quarter. Kesey, number 12, with the ball. Monarchs looking very poised, well coached. Both teams are well coached as they're looking forward to the regionals.
Yeah, you're right, Greg.
But no district tournament, you're rarely at home. That's the problem.
So Menchville came into tonight's game 16-5, only trailing Phoebus in the standings, and Woodside at 13-9 coming into tonight's game behind Hampton, Kickingham, Menchville, and Phoebus. So both teams trying to get right before the postseason.
5:26 left in this game. That's it. 58-44 in favor of the Monarchs on defense. Woodside with the ball. They need some points. They need it fast. But not too. You got to get some rebounds too. Here come the Monarchs. Using the bench so well. A little sloppy there. Woodside trying to counter punch. Outside jumper. It's up. It's off. Here comes Herman. Double teamed. Almost a steal. Struthers, very unselfish.
Going up and down the court. Problem now for Woodside is time is not on their side. Struthers with the steal.
And Regina Price texting us.
Hey, Regina.
All right, here's another shout out from Wisconsin. Shout out from Michael and Brandon and Trey watching from the TV1 class.
Michael, Brandon, and Trey, what's going on, fellas? And again, shout out to Regina in Wisconsin.
And Bill Barlow says hello to Regina. I think Regina can hear Bill all the way from Wisconsin.
Again.
All right, we're getting all types of texts here. Chauncey Jenkins, we love you, Kennedy and Jordan. So whoever Kennedy and Jordan are, thank you. Tell your friends to watch nnpstv.com.
The game of the night, folks.
Cox Cable 47-517. Thank you again to all the texts in prime time. Again, that's the thing about basketball. They can see the kids. They can see the fans who are here. You can't really do that in football.
And again, basketball is just such an ingrained part of the community. And you talk about legends like an Anthony Solomon. You talk about legends like Lamont Struthers. You talk about Allen Iverson, the David Macklins, the Mark Ardrey, the Danielle Dawson, Shalois Lyons. The fabric of the community is on this hardwood.
Speaking of hardwood, nice shot there by Zero, Khalif Chimison. Might be a little bit too late, though.
Chimison's a really good young player.
Menchville just keeps on coming back. 62-47, they're relentless. 15-point lead at home. 3:41 left in the ball game. All right, great job by, once again, Michelle Price for all of a great football and basketball. As usual, executive producer, coordinating producer, producer of sports highlights, Ray Price, with us since 1992, doing a great job, wearing many hats, keeping it all together. All Menchville tonight, our wonderful director, Bill Barlow, been with us since 93, retired from Fort Eustis. Of course, Carl Daniels, and the wonderful engineer, Greg Lesko, keeping our audio and video in check.
Speaking of check, this might be checkmate for the Menchville Monarchs, so I'll give a shout out to our student crew tonight, 11th and 12th graders making it happen for you folks. Ryan Mullen, Michael McClellan, Derek Miracle, Pedro Leon, the inimitable, fantastic Mr. Joshua Valescan, Joshua Stuck, a.k.a. Lil Eli, Brandon Hedgepeth, Ian Tyson Odette, Xavier Bates, David Embry, Xavier Davis, Sierra Hendricks, Colin Biggie Smalls, and of course, you know, we don't have Antonio Brown because he's wondering about his contract, but we do have Antonio Dix out here working with the crew. So shout out to our great student crew for all the hard work they put in tonight.
Struthers flying in the sky. Who needs the parachute? Just watch Struthers play. I never had no desire to jump out of an airplane, Nate. I'm sorry.
Why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane, my friend?
I'm afraid of heights to begin with.
Menchville doing what they do best, though. Once they get a lead, they start to put the pedal to the metal, get the throttle down, and we've seen Struthers. There's a reason some colleges are looking at this young man because he is somebody that can be a benefit and asset to your team.
A lot of Division I, II, and III prospects as Wright connects for Menchville, number 23. Very focused. Enjoyed speaking to him before the game. Got to make those free throws when it counts. (66-47). Menchville's opened it up.
We're starting to see the benches empty out a little bit for both teams.
And Menchville to steal. Herman. And he knocks it off the glass. Woodside with the ball. Trailing 68-47. Menchville looking for the sweep against Woodside this year. They won the earlier outing earlier this season.
Right there, Herman picking the pockets, getting the cookies, a hand in the cookie jar.
And he stutter stepped there, and he's still, that hesitation threw Jimison off.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. When you're able to use defense to create offense, that just opens up the game and makes things easier for you. And that's the reason why Menchville is starting to pile onto this lead, and it looks unlikely that Woodside will be able to come back and capitalize.
All right, this text just said, Daddy is proud of his son. Congratulations to all the players out here tonight.
Absolutely. Some great young men and women that we've had the privilege of covering tonight. Future leaders here, both on the court and off the court.
Yep, great sportsmanship by Chauncey Jenkins, Kennedy, and Jordan. Great family support from his family as well. And all the people watching on the tube and online.
And I'm telling you, Chauncey Jenkins is a player that I think can have some big-time success at that next level. I think he's a player like this. There's some things in his game he needs to refine, but I think he has a ton of potential, and it'd be great to see that young man playing collegiately.
Woodside just could not keep up with Menchville's dominant bench support either. Outside jumper is good way downtown by Khalif Jimison.
Jimison is a good player, folks. I have been very impressed with Jimison. The 2 games we've had a chance to watch him so far this season, Greg. You know, they're not going to get it done tonight in the win column, but Jimison is a player as well as Coleman and, of course, the big man inside Nunez to look forward to.
Menchville's on fire. It's like the regionals tonight. Nice shot right there by Herman. They got so many people they attack. Great proactive offense by Menchville.
So many weapons, like you said, Greg. Herman and Gilliam and Jenkins and Hawkins and Harrison and Kesey, and of course the guy that's getting it all done and starts it off, stirs the drink, if you will, is number 5, Alan Struthers.
Woodside likes that UVA offense, full court matchup, zone defense. Strength for Woodside is the speed. Weakness has been the youth. Menchville, of course, motion offense, all types of man zone defense. Strength has been the perimeter and the inside and the fast break. Weakness, closing, but not tonight. They are getting to checkmate in the final 1:15 left. Menchville not letting off the pedal.
Herman to Gilliam on the inside. You're right, Greg. They've had trouble closing games out so far this season, but they know tonight in prime time on TV, they're going to close out the show. They're going to bring the curtain down, and they are going to come away with a big-time rivalry win tonight.
All right, great text here as well. Extremely proud of the Monarchs. Chauncey, he says, R.I.P. Coach. Of course, Ben Moore alluding to.
Absolutely.
Ben Moore coached at Warwick and Menchville.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, you talk about Ben Moore. That's why I've been so impressed with the job Coach Struthers has done. You see that interior move, Greg, just the pocket pass from Herman to Gilliam, and that just exemplifies what we've seen from Menchville tonight, unselfish basketball.
20-point lead for Menchville, 42 seconds left. Stay tuned for our wrap-up show after the game. 20-point lead for Menchville at home. They're going to improve and sweep the series against Woodside. But both teams played great, good sportsmanship, good conduct, great attitude by all the players involved, and the fans too.
Yeah.
Great sportsmanship by the fans.
Great atmosphere tonight, and again, you know, we want to give a shout-out to the memory of the late, great Ben Moore, who unfortunately left us too soon, but you can see his legacy out here on the court with these young men and with Coach Struthers, and the legacy in that foundation continuing on for the Menchville Monarchs.
That was Maxey on the shot. Woodside still fighting.
Okay.
Not enough time left, the final few seconds.
Young fella, Jemison.
And Menchville is going to win it by the score of 75-55 at home. Whew. That's a final. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
You don't have to change just to fit in. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Just be yourself, and I promise people will enjoy it. Just be yourself. Be your real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, and magical person you are. Be yourself. Because everyone else is already taken. Just be you.
All right, Menchville wins it at home on senior night by 20, 75-55 final score. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. And Nate, the game, was close for a while, but Menchville used that depth to get the win.
Yeah, it was one team working together. Didn't matter who was in. Next man up, you got to get the job done. And that's what we saw from Menchville tonight. A great job by all the players involved. I was especially impressed with Jenkins and Struthers. I think Struthers was the one that got things started. And you even had contributions from players like Jaden Kesey. So a total team effort from Menchville against a very tough Woodside Wolverine squad.
And great teamwork and moving the ball around very well.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a good game, Greg. We knew this was going to be something prime time for the folks here on NNPSTV.com. And I was just so pleased to see this matchup. Great job by both teams. And Menchville Monarchs defend home court. Like you said, they protected the house on senior night.
All right, great job by the crew. Once again, Menchville wins it 75-55 right here at home at the Menchville Monarchs home court. For Ray Price and Nate Milton, I'm Greg Bickaveris. Good night, and we'll talk to you soon.